Opa, beleza. So, guys, it's a pleasure to have you here. We know Neiman have a kind of a Bahia time, eh? Gonna be a little late. No, it's like Márcio Macarrão, man. It's like his father, man. That's kind of laid back. But Adriana Conde Menezes, our moderator here to keep us under control. We are in family here, so we have a lot of things to talk, but fortunately we have someone to keep it under control here. She is on the wheels, okay?
Nice to meet you guys. Welcome to this chat. If you don't know our channel on YouTube, go there, subscribe. The name is SBAJJ, and now it's on you.
No. That'd be a little more.
I have to explain step by step. So you go to YouTube. You're gonna
subscribe.
No, digitar. How to say that?
You type
SBAJJ. Then you look for the red button, subscribe. You type on it once, because if you type twice, you unsubscribe. And then you like it. And we became friends. That's it.
That's it. Okay, see? Wow.
And share.
And share that. Share with everyone. Yeah, please. We need 1 million. You know, I have been having classes with your cousin, man. He is a professional now. He did some courses with that. So he's doing a beautiful job on the internet. So I call him sometimes, say, yeah, give some advice here. We need a help. But we are fortunate here. We have Zé Renato on the backstage upstairs, taking care of all these things here. But Robson and Ian.
Now we have a fantastic crew, right?
Yeah, beautiful group.
SBA is growing really fast.
You guys have been seeing a little more, a little difference between what was before and more professional now. The approach have been seen on the internet, and especially on Instagram and here on YouTube, the SBA. These guys are working hard. But let's go start with these guys, man. Okay. Neiman gonna be very important to be here, because I think that he's in.
Someone on, yeah.
Okay. Look at his hair. Look at his hair.
Pop star.
He's looking good. Look at you.
Galera, irmão. How you doing, man?
Fala, Lourinho.
Hi, Neiman.
Hi, amazing hair.
Thank you.
Neiman,
good.
Adriana, Neiman.
Sorry, I was a little late.
No, that's your. It's macarrão time, man. It's like your father. Come on.
Brazilian time.
We're okay. We're on time here. We are all good. But as long as you came late, you're the last one in. You're the first one on Bellator. That's what happened to you. So you're gonna be the first one to talk here, man.
Yeah.
How that? I remember when you came to X Gym, just starting your journey MMA. No clue what stand up was at that time. Then were you dying there training? It was a pleasure to see you surviving through, and then see your career comes like you're doing beautiful job now. So tell us, how that pops in for. We're gonna start with you, but how that pops in for a Gracie family member. Boom, clicks for the MMA today. How that happened?
So for me, it was always the plan. I always have the plan to be a MMA fighter, So I think that was more than 10 years ago that I went to X Gym. I think I was like 20 years old at that time, Yeah, I was just starting to train, and it's tough to come from jiu-jitsu and have to do other martial arts, But for me, it was good because I started early. So when I was around 18, 19, I started training other things. And then when I was around like 23, I did my first fight. So that was really good because I start early,
Excellent. We're gonna go with this question for Robson. Robson, what about you, man? The model of the family is a beautiful guy in the family. Come on, he does measure a pretty face in the MMA. Come on, how can we go there?
I was a little concerned about, because I was between the model career and the MMA career.
You cannot be punched, right? Have to preserve
Don't be punched in the face,
nose, your small
I
nose.
won't forget it. Gonna be smashed. That's gonna be different very soon.
So that's why I train harder to don't get punched in the face. But my decision was like growing up, seeing Renzo, watching Royce, all those guys motivated me a lot to be an MMA fighter. So it was a dream since I was a kid. So.
Yeah, and it's crazy because you say like when you talk about hands or about your brothers, people look them and look at you, look at they're your uncles, but not your brother.
Everybody asking that, yeah.
Exactly. And then have a picture of you. Okay, so talk about this. You are the number
11 of my father, but the boy, I'm the number 5.
Okay.
By the way, Neiman is Robson's nephew.
Yeah.
Really?
Long Island City?
Yeah.
Is that
You
possible?
and you are
Cousin. Kywan's cousin.
No, I'm cousin.
okay. Yeah, it's true. But it's like my father also went to the Gracie way, and Kywan have his uncle and his aunt younger than him as well. Gustavo and Julia, my brother and sister, they're younger than Kywan.
Oh yeah.
As a Gracie and Behring family make a mess in everybody's head. But Kywan, and then came you. Kywan Gracie
Then
Behring.
came you. Actually, like,
Okay. Thank
see,
you.
they actually inspire me a lot to start to fight, to follow this path. And actually, was one I spoke to Robson when Robson start to fight in the first fight, and then I said, yeah, man, I gotta start to work hard and make part of this. And then I got the flight, went to New York to see how is the real life there in the training there. Got my ass beaten by Neiman.
I have that on tape. I have that on tape. I never
No way.
I have that on tape, man. Come on. That's true.
But I felt good, man. Like, I'm feeling really good.
Yeah. So, interesting part here of this conversation, all of you guys, and not just you. You have 2 other Gracie family members in the same division, Bellator. Who's the other guys?
Ronnie, Roy's son, and Haaland.
Royce's son and Helson's son.
Yeah, and first thing we're gonna say, I know Neiman's father is a big guy. Mas Macarrão was a tall guy, a big guy for his generation. But most of other guys are small guys, and you guys are a little giants for next generation. You guys became a little bigger than the guys in our generation, which is interesting to see the evolution. But then all of you guys came to the same division, and everybody asked the same question. Adriano was asking me, what happens if they have to fight? I know that's impossible for you guys to fight each other. Not, impossible. You do that every day, but in the public, not gonna happen. So they have to create another belt there to make a special Gracie belt there. How gonna happen? How to see it?
No, I think that is impossible. Because the family Grace is not individuals. Is not individual sport. It's a family. That's what makes the family become famous. And when you talk about Gracie, you don't remember a specific one. You remember all of them. So I hope Bellator make a special belt for us, so we can one for each. That's gonna be good. Because I hope everybody fight hard to get to the top.
So far, was Neiman has fought for the belt for the title? You already had the match for the title, Neiman?
Yeah, so I had a match for the title already, and I'm trying to get another one soon. But if anyone else from the family get it before me, maybe I switch weight divisions. I go up or up. Don't go down. I go up. So I try to get the other belt. But I think some guys like they're not really losing a lot of weight to make this weight. So some of them can maybe go down, like Royce's son, maybe.
I can go down.
Kywan maybe can go down. So if it gets to a point that somebody has the belt, we can all switch weight divisions, you know. Because I weigh like 200 pounds normally, you know, so I can go up. But for me, making this weight is really hard, but it's perfect because all the top level guys that make this weight, they are all the same weight that I have, you know. Everybody, the champions in this weight class, they like 195, 200. So if it gets to that point, I will just switch weight divisions, you know.
Yeah, it's interesting because I can see the mind of the matchmaker. I have to keep this division like a chess game in front of him to play the cards properly. That to don't put you guys in a that's pretty interesting. What about you, Q? What's your expectations to debut in Bellator?
Like I expect like Neiman to get the belt like before because he's already there, so he's gonna get the belt very soon. And I'm like my plans to start on the 170, the welterweight division. Like I think I'm gonna fight like 4 or 5 fights on this category, and then when they like pay me more, I make the sacrifice and go down the category. But like now, like to start like worry about like the weight cut, I think like it's too much, a big gap from 170 to 155.
Yeah,
they gotta pay a lot for me to suffer a lot.
Yes.
For me, my opinion, as long as the belts are someone in the family, that's fine. Doesn't matter.
For sure.
I don't care to be the second or the third or the fifth.
For sure.
So as long as the belt is someone in the family, that's what I think. I think it's great because if someone has the belt, one of us is gonna chase them to. So the guy is gonna have to fight 6 more times to defend the title because the family gonna come after him, no? So that's what I think is really important.
Yeah, it comes a question for you guys there that make you like we talk about generations here, talk about history, and when asked about the history, they say no, we're not old enough to talk about history. We are making history, which is true. But let me ask one question for you three, and then let's see who's going to answer first. In your which would be the advice in our times here for MMA, specifically for MMA career? The transition to be 100% jiu-jitsu to MMA, I think in our times is a problem because the idea is to start MMA from the beginning. If you want to have an MMA career, you should be training more, be more relevant in your skills from the beginning. Don't you think that you go to too long, it become a difficulty for make the transition? Or when is you be the best time to start the stand-up and transitions for MMA?
I think, my opinion, as soon as possible. Of course, you're gonna be master in some art, like jiu-jitsu, get master on that. And besides, you need to train at least boxing or a little bit of Muay Thai. But you must have one main martial art because a lot of MMA fighters they are good at a little bit at everything. So that means they're not good. They're not good at nothing in the end. Every time it shows up the gym, someone who trains everything, and you can beat them on the stand up. You can beat them on the ground. So it's better if you get good at something. And I recommend jiu-jitsu to start it first.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu like the one that takes longer to master. And I think I know this is like a big advantage that we have against our opponents. But the wrestling like is really important. Like if you don't have like a good wrestling, it's really hard to put in practice jiu-jitsu in the fight.
And
if you don't have like a good hands, it's hard to get the approach to take the guys down. So I think like I have a jiu-jitsu, the main one, is like the hardest, like take longer to master it. That's I think our advantage.
Okay, so what do you think is more important to have? A good punch, like a good hand, or a good shin? What's more important than that right now?
With what?
Good chin.
Good
A
shin,
good chin because
I think a good chin now is because we
Good
got
chin.
down fighters. So
yeah. So yeah, that's exactly what I think. You know, everybody come with the desire to become a MMA fighter. Say, man, let's check the shin. First thing to check. They have, you know, if it's not hard shin, man, it's better don't go for this. This career not gonna be okay. Not gonna be fun.
I think the most important is a good heart.
Yeah, perfect. That's it, exactly. And I know all the guys have a big heart. And that comes for a question. Actually, your grandfather's on the live is here sending, you know, the best and is jealous about you being in the swimming pool in Las Vegas. No, he's in lockdown. He's locked down in his house. So
I'm just lucky, pô.
like everybody locked down. In a nice environment, and that was a big change, you know, in the beginning. That's interesting for your generation. You guys had a chance to move outside, you know, all the boundaries from Brazil to the United States. Kywan went to Roger in England, and that was a big changing for the whole generation. I think that. Now our next generation after you guys is going to be all kids going to be educated in English. What's the influence that to move to the United States to become an MMA fighter, or there was a different? You moved there and then become an MMA fighter, or you moved there because you're going to be an MMA fighter? Neiman.
So I moved here because my plan was to be an MMA fighter, you know. So that's why I moved here. That's why I came to Renzo, because Renzo has such a strong MMA team, you know. So
Yeah, it's lucky. His internet is in the street somewhere.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear. There was a little. Come
Dá
on,
pra
say
ouvir?
again. Dá pra ver. Go.
Sorry, I'm in a boat.
Oh, in the boat, where are you going? Is he in New York still?
I think he's going home.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're both in New York. Yeah?
About,
You
yeah.
can see you and Neiman in New York right now.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
no problem. I can say.
Yeah. So I think for me coming here to New York was really important because Renzo has such a strong MMA team, you know. So I came here because of the team, because of Renzo. So that was my plan.
Yeah, excellent. Hope to see you.
Same. In Brazil, it's important. Here you can be instructor and also MMA fighter at the same time. In Brazil, you need to pick up one because here, like the people respect the sport, they have more support. So I think he's better.
Okay.
And of course, Renzo was here, my cousin was here, so it was easy to be here.
Excellent. What about you?
Yeah.
Can I ask you for a better place for to be? Become a MMA fighter. But you were in England.
But now I'm in Vegas.
So what? I know. But you started in England, and
Yeah,
then
like
there you made a decision.
my original plan was to go to New York, but I had a problem with my visa to go to New York from Brazil. And then Roger was in Rio, and then I decided with him to go to London. And then as soon as I got in a good level in Jiu-Jitsu, Neiman was already there fighting, Robson was starting to fight, and then I decided to join this path. And now I'm organized everything to move to.
Understand. And another thing,
Because
say.
London the Jiu-Jitsu there is like pretty good, but then the Roger Academy is not that strong. So he doesn't focus much on MMA, just pure Jiu-Jitsu. So eventually I'm gonna go to New York, but I now have a big family, so I have to do smooth the transition.
Understand that. It's better be together. You guys have a beautiful camp there. You know, the structure you guys have in New York under Renzo is amazing there. I can see the structure you have in Vegas as well. It's pretty solid there.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I train here. Like I train like very good boxing, wrestling. But my plan is like to train, to do my camps, to fight, to prepare for my fights with my family. So that I feel like better than New York.
And I believe that you improve a lot of your game when you be a partner in someone else's camp, because you can become a more rounded fighter, acting as the opponent. So you're getting a lot of better vision, better skills. I like to play this game to be, play as opponent. To look for the holes, look for where we have to fix. For sure, we are looking always for develop our skills and then make sure our weaknesses are being checked during the camp. I see very important that happen, and nothing better to have family together. Check those holes there. Hey man, you giving chance here, please. So and I think that playing the opponent bring us for a different level. What do you guys think?
I agree. It's important. More like here in Renzo, we have all kind of people to train to deal with. So this make a lot of difference. Okay, this example. If I'm gonna fight a Southpaw, we have a bunch of Southpaws here. If you're gonna fight a heavy guy, like a wrestler, a guy who's flexible on the ground, the guy who's, for example, I have a purple belt here. He's a good wrestling, really good wrestling. But he's also really good at escaping. He's not good at submissions, but it's really hard to submit him in the MMA sparring. So if you get him, like, man, you're ready. Like anybody else, like you have a good wrestler. If you take him down, they have a guy who's just playing boxing. So all kind of human material. So that's good.
Excellent. That's good. Hey, Neiman, are you at home?
Yeah, just got home. Sorry, guys.
Well, yeah, your home, your father's home. Where's there?
In my house, yeah, here in New York.
Okay, nice. So,
oi, meu amor. Aí, ó.
Olá. Coisa maravilhosa. Tá lindo demais.
Papai.
Linda.
Agora chega em casa, tem que lavar a mão.
No, say in English. No, not in English.
Gotta clean the hands, clean everything.
Yeah.
New York is crazy.
No, yeah, it's true. And see,
so I'm getting a ferry to come home, not the subway, because the subway it's kind of crazy. So I'm usually going by ferry. That's why I was in a boat and crazy. I was just at the gym. I was training a little. Thank God I'm still able to go to the gym,
Yeah. And this is interesting times, because everybody's kind of getting. You know what? I think it's the best time for you to heal from your injuries. Huh? Everybody cannot complain about getting injured this time. Everybody's.
This is true.
It's very protected.
I hurt my knee. I hurt my knee before, so now it's getting better because I'm not training that much. So I use this time to recover.
Injury. Yeah, and keep the mind solid, keep the mind focused on because we see a lot of people getting scared. I'm saying, I'm so frustrated seeing my idols and some people that I look up so much as example, so afraid of everything around. I'm not afraid. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not politically correct to say that. I'm sorry, but I'm not afraid at all. I don't buy that. So. For me, is a very crazy times that we are passing, and we have to respect what's going on and not be against it, not go come on. Okay, we respect that. We respect the moment. Respect people's fears for sure, as we do as martial artists, as instructors, that we learn to, respect everybody, understand, and be able to deal with different mindsets and people. At this time, we have to be comprehensive. But I took out, we had a meeting today. I was talking to the guys. I take the fear out of your language. Don't talk about scary. Don't talk about fear. Talk about courage. Hands up. Let's move ahead. Let's think about the future. Let's go look for to give a hug to people you love. I miss to give you guys a big hug. And always when we meet each other, we have that. And I'm sorry. Don't come with your elbow, man. I'm gonna hug you, and you cannot deny it. No. Okay, far. The guy was saying the other day, come on. So you cross the elbow and give it the elbow. What's the sense on that?
I was at the gym. I was working out in the gym. Then I left, and then it has a homeless guy in the street. I know him so many years. Mm-hmm. And then when he saw me, he extended the hand, and I grabbed his hand.
Nice.
And then I was thinking, man, I know this guy for so many years. How am I going to shake his hand?
Exactly.
Of course, when I got home, I washed it. I didn't put it on my face. I was taking care, but...
Exactly.
Imagine he extend the hand and go like, okay.
Yeah. That's what I'm pissed off. If you don't want to shake hands. I know. The sponge things, okay, but we are from a different. So it took me years to teach the Canadians how to hug it. When I got that 1996, we finished a training there. Everybody's sweating like crazy, and then I go shake their hands and give a hug, and everybody was shaking hands and say, "Hey, come on, you just roll with me, man. We're north south, and man, mountain. Come on, you're not gonna hug me." Come on, give me a hug. So I was teaching those guys how to hug. Now gonna be a new training again. Come on, no, please, come on. That's no, please gonna be a problem. But and then we're looking for to fight. And how you guys saw that was the only event that happened was the last UFC. It was Saturday, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't see it. How that happened? What was the limitation there? No public.
No public at all. Everybody in the corners, man's wearing masks. Even the commentators, I think.
I think the guys being tested there every day.
They exactly. They have every day they have they test all the crew. So and even like their Jacare end up getting contaminated by the virus.
Yeah.
What happens? No.
Yeah, all of us we're gonna be. It's a pandemic.
Sooner or later, everybody's gonna get it.
Exactly. But the idea of get locked down, it's funny because we are doing a lot of interviews and at this time, and makes a lot of things are coming talking about the coronavirus. In the future, when people watch this, because it's gonna be for eternity somewhere that people can find it. We talk about, and I say, man, people are gonna look back at that time. We're proud to do something and believe in and come back and stronger. And some people are going to look back with shame to be just,
pussy.
Yeah.
You're looking for another word, but that's it.
Yeah.
I heard that used to happen with HIV back then, right? People didn't really know how you get it, so people wasn't touching each other, wasn't eating the same things,
More.
It's kind of the same thing. We don't know how strong this is or what we're dealing with, but we can't be afraid, like everything in life. So I'm still going to the gym, I'm still training, still doing my things, Of course, I'm not rolling with everybody, but whatever I can do, I'm doing, So
We gotta be conscious that this time we cannot just kick the bucket. No, there's no way to do it. So I understand to be conscious, and I agree with that. Like I was saying to the guys that had the lockdown in their schools, say, guys, I understand that, and you have to follow exactly what's going on. If they open, you open. Oh, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Don't talk about that. Don't put afraid on your language. Don't use that word. Don't tell me that you're afraid. Never. Let's look up. Okay. How can we do it? Let's look forward and let's do it. Is economy in the world. We got a lesson. Yeah, we got a big lesson this time, and I think you guys for next generation are gonna tell everyone how that happens. You know, we show a weakness that be locked by our own desire, and be the you know. So let's move ahead for something better to talk about. You know, because I'm surfing, man. I'm here in Rio de Janeiro. I live in Macumba by the beach. You know, so I'm as much as I can. I go in the water. I surf every day. And
Yeah, perfect.
Nobody bother you? Nobody bother
no.
you?
No, some other surfers bother me more than the cops.
Kick them
It
out
was
of the
funny.
water.
I was paddling in on a day, and I passed beside this guy, and the guy said, "Hey, social distance, man. Come on, not in the water. Come on."
Pô, get out of the water.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm 58, man. You know what? You know, I should. You know, if I was 88, I would say, "Come on, can I choose
Yeah.
for what I want and what kind of risk I want to take for my life?" Come on. And that's a big point. You know, the freedom is about the side, and then we are all for the freedom. And that's one other reason when you move to the United States, to make sure you have there your freedom. And then when people talk to you, what's your freedom? Have a limit. Come on, what is that? So we must move ahead and think about that for the future, next generation, man. We have to keep watching our freedom. Freedom is responsibility for sure, but we cannot just let it happen, you know, and be okay with that. So it's a good point to be a fighter, but you know, some people are fighting for our rights, you know, taking the risk to be, you know, misinterpreted and misunderstood in their words and their position. And we have to understand they are fighting for our rights. They're fighting for the future, and that's what's going on. That's why when we put the trust on you guys, that you guys going to do the job there. You know, it's one question. When you start to put the gloves, okay, the hand protection, and you're from Jiu-Jitsu, you like to choke, you like to grapple, and you start to put the protection. The first feeling when you made the first adjustment with the hand, it's not that, you know, come on, I wanna check it out if I can punch. No.
That's true.
So, there's a click. It's totally true. So one thing I remember when in the beginning, because Kywan's father was a problem for me, and for my growth was fight Marcelo every day was a problem, and he had a very strong hand. And a punch by Marcelo, you know, was unforgettable. I remember once he knocked me out. My father said, "No, you cannot fight at home anymore. I'm gonna fight in the garage." I said, "Let's go fight." So we went to the garage, and when we got there, before you know, let's start, boom, and then I got knocked out. I didn't see what happened. But when I wake up, I was sitting by the car. You know, I could feel like the taste of my teeth, the broken inside. And, man. That blood and teeth in my mouth. You look at me, come on, and I could hear from far. Stand up. Come on, wait.
Taste good, yeah.
Yeah, give me a
good taste.
Yeah. So I stood up, and then we keep on fighting. We had a great fight. The doorman ran away from the building. Everything was a mess, and after a while was crazy. So my father said, you said you cannot fight at home. We fought in the garage. So no fight in the garage, no fight in the building. Okay, come on, we're gonna fight now. Then we made a deal. I said, Marcel, okay, when we go fight now, we put the gi on and we train, okay? Man, that was worst decision. So it was. Let's put the gi on. Go ahead. Oh man, but you know it's funny because. I know for the whole family, the hobby scene, everybody around, MMA. Kywan for sure, his father, you know, 100% on it. But Neiman, your father was a pure jiu-jitsu guy. The most gentle guy I know in my life is Márcio Macarrão. The most laid-back guy, you know. So how that mindset from the beginning happens to you?
I don't know. I think I was born with it, you know, like since I was a little kid, I always dream of it, you know. So of course, and also being in a Gracie family too, like everybody's doing. But since I was like 5 years old, I remember like watching Royce. I always wanted to do this. So, and my father always gave me a lot of. He helped me do it too, you know. So it was pretty easy actually to have either this or school. So it's not very hard to choose. It was an easy decision.
Oh man, that's great. Yeah, Robson, there's no way to run, man. You know, it's funny because you know I can imagine you, the little one in the family, all your brothers. There, what's the difference from you and Half, and from Ryan and you?
Ryan is supposed to have
45, my age.
45, so 15 years older than me.
Wow.
Yeah, so I remember when I was 15, I went to São Paulo to live with him for a while. And he did his last fight in MMA. So he just got when I got there, he just got back from Japan. So,
I can't imagine, obviously, just a second. I can't imagine what you're doing at home for them to send you to São Paulo to live with Ryan, man. Vai morar com o Ryan, porra.
And the funny thing was, I thought I was having a good time. Okay, so no more school. That's gonna be really good. No, man, he put me to study. He put me to go to school to read. Man, it was harder than Rio. He really corrected me a lot. Okay, now I'm gonna have a good time. Just the gym, just go to the academy, jiu-jitsu and video games after. No, man, I really have to school. He really have to go to school. Nice. Showed him the notes, show him like everything. So it was kind of hard. And I thought
you know that when Ryan was about that, 15 years old, they sent him to live with Marcelo in São Paulo. He was there for a long time, living with Marcelo there. That was exactly what happened. Hey, go live with Marcelo for a while. Marcelo, take care of this one, please. So,
people are real tired of him. All the cops know him already. No, but I was more quiet. I was more focused a little bit.
Yeah, you're a better pretender, rapaz.
You know, it's good go away with this pretty face. Come on, if you're ugly, man, you know, come on. No, you're the one in the family that I look up as the role model. But come on, keep look into his eyes. You're gonna show it.
I had a girlfriend. She kicked me out of the house. I was here in New York already, so I called Renzo. Renzo, where are you? I said, I'm in the city. Yes. Hey, come meet me. Then I went with my backpack. I met Renzo at the restaurant he was. He came to me. What happened? I said, man, my girlfriend kicked me out of the house, so I'm going to your house. He said, no, that's going to be a problem. Because my wife also kicked me out of the house too. So like, now what are we going to do? What are we going to do? He goes, no, don't worry. And I was really worried because nowhere to go. So man, I'm going to the gym. And they said, no, don't worry, figure it out. We'll figure it out. And then he was really quiet. He was like on his cell phone. He was eating a lot. Okay, then he come. Let's go to my house. And man, Christina's gonna get married too. Don't worry, I'm gonna have you with me. She likes you.
Exactly.
Fine. And then we came to his house. When we parked the car, when you get out, she was on top of the stairs looking at him. Renzo, what are you doing him? I bring him. Okay, you guys can come in. Then I have to sit for a while at the kitchen table. And deixa eu dar entrevista aqui, ó, sacana. Vem cá. Okay. Then I had to sit at the table. She talked bad about him, and I was just kind of agreeing with her. Vem cá, filha, vem cá. Dá oi aqui, ó. Te name aqui, ó. Olha aqui.
Ô, rapaz!
Wow!
Na fera aí.
So cute.
Moleque.
You,
Whoa, what is that? Is a mask? Oh boy. Where is
No.
Homer?
it's a paintball
So
mask.
Paintball. Paintball mask?
There's a motorcycle paintball. What's that?
The paintball.
Speak of yeah.
Paintball, yeah. It's ready for a fight, man. Remember that age? I used to bring those kids to the beach with me, and then I always bring them to the beach with me and leave them with Kira under the umbrella go surf. And then Kira take care of the kids. Kira was 7 years old. Those kids were like 3 or 4, and she was taking care of the kids in the beach that was surfing. And I remember I brought the Kywan. I had a little Puma, the little one. I brought Kywan, Ian, and Kiron, 2 bikes, surfboard, everything in the Puma, in the little car.
Oh my God.
I remember this car, man.
I got to Praia and open the door. The kids start to go away and then bring everything out of the car. And I said, how can you put everything, all these things in this little car? I don't know. That's how we got.
The ceiling of the car was like the car was here, like in the middle of the chest. Like it was very low, the car.
Oh man! Come on, let's see your face, man.
Oi, pessoal. Say hi. Hi.
Deixa eu ver tua cara, rapaz. Deixa eu ver tua cara. Tira essa máscara aí.
Escreve tua cara.
Hi.
Vê se você parece com
He's
teu
shy.
pai.
He's a little bit shy.
Let's see if you look like your father.
What's his name?
Roma.
Roma.
Roma. How are you, guy?
How are you?
How are you?
Aqui, cara. Perturba às vezes, cara.
Figura.
É, rapaz.
Hey, guy, Neiman, quantos? Sorry. Neiman, how many kids you have?
Yeah, just one. I'm Gracie, but I'm not this part of the family. You know? One that I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
She can hear. She can hear.
Yeah. Everybody can hear that. Now it's resistant, my friend. It's recorded. So I'm gonna come to you one day. Good to see you. How many kids?
If anything goes wrong, I bring Robson to my house and we're good.
Yeah,
I know the plan already, so I bring him to lunch. And
yeah,
we're all good.
now we have to invest in the kid, man. Not Robson anymore. Nobody buy Robson anymore, but the kid. The kid. What about you, Kywan? 2 little girls?
2 girls.
Yeah, I'm gonna try another.
I had the first girl. I said, okay, let's go another one. Let's have a boy. Then another girl said, okay, let's stop. They start to get too expensive, this man.
Yeah, it's funny because
let's wait a bit more.
Yeah, you're gonna go like Hoyler. When you go the 4th girl, you're gonna do, oh man, okay, let's stop it.
Yeah.
I get the 2nd girl. My wife said, no, wait, let me have a break.
But you know, Kywan born because it was a competition between me and Marcelo, né? For sure, 100% competition. So when Ian's mother, Marcel, was pregnant, Marcelo got crazy, man. If he's a boy, man, that was a competition. And he loved Killer. He was crazy for Killer. And man, that was his dream, was have a Gracie Behring, man. And he did it. So that's what, it was a competition. That was a Ian born, next boom, Kywan. So it was a real funny to see that, you know, Marcelo's mind, man. He was planning that, man. He had a plan in his life to marry a Gracie. That was something very interesting to see that happen, man. And this kid born.
Yeah, this surname is like Kennedy Onassis, right? Gracie Behring, like Kennedy Onassis.
Oh, yeah. Shut up. Oh, yeah.
I'm a dream come true for her.
Yeah.
Since the beginning.
Oh, it was so cute.
What happened? Eh?
You know, Neiman, when I went to London to visit him first time there, and he was living in a little apartment. I can't call that apartment. It was a little room. and had one cushion on the ground, one blanket, one pillow. So, okay, I got in there. I said, okay, how are you going to do this? I say, okay, you got to choose or the pillow or the blanket. I say, okay, I take the pillow. You keep the blanket.
Yeah.
So I took the pillow and zip dressed. In the morning when I wake up, this guy was covered. Just his head. I could see that, man. I was looking for this guy for 3 or 4 minutes. I was seeing his father 100%. So I could not see.
Yeah. It's crazy. And you're looking like this, right? Like, I can't believe that's crazy.
I remember when we were kids and we were looking to Marcelo, and we used to be afraid of the house. We moved to the house to make some noises, and we sleep in the same room. So we had 2 things happen every day: we fight and we dream. We sleep in the giving hands because both afraid of the noises. So,
so you fight during the day, and when you go to sleep, you hug each other.
Yeah,
that's real brothers, huh?
Yeah, that was I could feel his hand coming into my bed, saying, "Okay, I give you your hands." So I was able to give me hands there, make sure the noise was passing. It was funny, man.
The problem when you wake up, he pulls your hand and arm bars you.
No, I have a scar here. I was going back home after school. When I opened the door, was a spear in the air coming towards. He shaped the broom. He took
to kill him.
The broomstick. He shaped it with a knife and throw as a spear and boom.
You can see the scar here.
And it was
outro nível de loucura, bicho.
Yeah.
Imagine if you hit you in the neck or in the face, you're done.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny? Okay, let's go. That was now we can give better examples for you guys. So we had this game. We start to play the game. We got a como é que é espingarda de chumbinho? The espingarda de chumbinho in inglês, the little rifle with a
BB gun.
BB gun, exactly. The BB gun. We had a BB gun and a bow and arrow. The bow and arrow was real. So it was some kind of animal tooth with an arrow. And he had the BB gun, I had the arrow. And we were playing in a friend's house. There was a nice house in São Paulo. He was shooting real. And then I was firing him. I had one arrow. So I look up and boom, throw the arrow. The arrow, boom, right in. Man.
Whoa, that's great.
Boom. And then boom, in his face and stuck for a while and dropped. And then he put a hand on his face, was blood everywhere. Man, where I was, the first feeling was, okay, I got him. Second feeling, shit.
I almost killed him. Is he blind?
Blind or something like that. Yeah. So we run, and we cannot tell how that happened, because if you tell the truth, was there somebody going to get killed there? My father would kill us. So
your mother was there?
My mother was. Everybody was in the house. So we got in the house and said, "Oh, he got a scratch or something happened. He hit the head somewhere." So we had to tell us a big lie. But remember the arrow going up. Right there.
That's great. Is it true he didn't feel pain? That's true.
You know what happened, Marcelo? For sure. He. The point is not that he didn't feel pain. He likes pain. He didn't enjoy the pain. That's the difference, because he felt pain. You can see it sometimes, but most of the times I would be crying, he'll be laughing on it.
That's great.
You can see that. We had some experiences together. You can see that the pain was there for him, but he was, Marcelo had a problem was that, we have an easy way here. You cross the street here, turn left, and you're going to get there. Or you can go this way here and kill 2 tigers, jump on the wall, man, you're going to go that way.
Tell them
definitely.
That your father told us that he was in Bahamari or Atlântico Sul.
No, we are not in Ipanema.
And he broke. Yeah.
Ipanema. I was in judo. We both started judo. I was 17 years old, so I went to the university championships, and I got gold medal there for the first time in judo. We got, so I came back home, and that was a big mass in the tournament there. So I came back home excited to tell everyone my accomplishment there. And I opened the door. It was a mass in our apartment. My father was in, some ice in the head. Marcelo had a big cut in the head there. So I said, okay, my history now. I'm gonna wait for a while. Like, what happened? They had a fight. They had a fight in between the soccer teams. But all the soccer team that my father and Marcelo were together, they run away. But not Marcelo. Marcelo run against. And my
Myself against
Yeah.
the whole team.
Yes.
the
That's
whole thing.
crazy.
And they choose for one guy, jump on that guy, put him down, and then everybody else on him. So my father run towards him as well, and then save him from all the. Marcelo was like 15 years old at that time. I
That's
was
crazy.
17. I was feeling so proud of my gold medal. I said, okay, let's put the gold medal in the drawer. Talk about that later.
And he broke his arm, right?
No,
Somebody broke his arm?
but broke the head. I broke his arm once.
That's crazy.
But I didn't break his arm in armbar. I broke his arm because I pushed him in the living room. He fell and hit the arm on the TV thing there, so he broke his arm. But we're always like that. So we had that thing. So it's good to see you guys growing together and have the same environment at home, eh? Because I know Neiman had Barbara is a tough girl, eh?
Yeah, but it's Deborah. I have a sister. She's also a black.
Right.
Yeah,
Deborah.
it's okay.
Yeah.
She's also a black belt, so she beat me up my whole childhood, So when I got a little bigger and I start to win the battle, she stopped battling me and become my friend.
My sister.
Yeah, she's smart. She always smarter than me,
Robson, be 15 years younger, make it a little easier for you, huh?
Yeah, but I had my two sisters that I grew up with, and it was fun because I have a problem with one of them. The other one shows up from the back, so I have always to fight the two. I don't know. And I was younger, so it was like them. I had a time, then we grow up, then they stop. Like they start becoming my friends, but they teasing me. My sisters teasing me a lot when I was young, and I have a problem with. That was a fun part because I have a problem with one, and I was trying to look into someone of them. The other one come from behind. Say, what the hell are you doing? We're not even in the trouble. I didn't have a problem with you. Get out of this now. You have a problem with her. I have a problem with me. So they're really nice. And I remember my father.
Go girls. That's it. Go girls.
My dad was giving advice for them, like, do that with him. Hold his hand.
I saw that one time. I saw Renzo got in a fight against Haya, and it was really bad. Like they were fighting almost for real, Then I was looking at my grandfather, thinking he would stop the fight, He got a chair. He sit down by the chair. He put his legs like this, and he started telling Haya what to do. Haya, grab the leg, take him down. Blah, 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 blah. So what the hell? They're gonna kill each other, And he was coaching them, like, hey, do this, do that. I said, they're gonna kill each other. And he's watching with his glass like this, and he's watching. Haya, do this, do that. Blah, blah, blah.
They have a story. Haya and Ralph. They were fighting, and my father shows up to coach them. But my father stepped on the chair and fell back. When my father fell back, Haya stopped. When Haya stopped, Ralph knocked him out with a punch. My father stand up like, I'm all right, but you stupid, don't stop the fight because I fight. Keep the eye on the fight. Keep the eye on the fight. And Haya was pissed both times. One because he stopped because he's dead, and then because he got punched by Ralph.
Oh, man. I think it's for people to watch that are watching us to understand what is the difference, when you're born and grow in a family of fighters. And I know it's funny because when I start to go to the United States and Canada, I was more exposed to the lifestyle of hunters, which is not so common in Brazil, and especially we are from Southwest. Southeast, which is a very, very nice area to live. But in the United States and Canada, a lot of people eat what they hunt. And I know that's a different environment, which brings you more into the surviving mode and not being so guilty about to kill, and you know where the meat you eat is coming from. I remember I was training like crazy, born in the United States for 3 years to go and hunt, make sure I would feel, have the feeling of, have the meat that I'm eating, killing. Then I had my first chance to do it was in Namibia. I went to Africa, and it was amazing. That for me, for the mindset to really accomplish a mission to go and bring food back home, which was not common to happen for us. We just go and buy the food wherever you go. So when I stayed, I saw that feeling. Do you think that is an influence and also in a mindset for the guys when they go to MMA and fight because of this background as well?
Oh yeah, for sure. When you do that since you was a kid, for sure. Nobody here is a saint. Everybody has problems. Problems in school, going to party as a kid. We fight a lot in the streets. That's not a lie, but
I never fought on the street.
it was the first. I remember. I'm not gonna tell the stories here now, but when I was young, we are kids. We have the mind change. But I remember once I was in the queue at the party, and he looked to the guy, random guy. What do you think about that guy? The guy's big enough. See, yes. Why? Boom. The good thing we didn't choose more guy than us. We just choose every like bodybuilder who shows up. That's the guy gonna hit.
Oh man, I'm glad this time is over, man.
Yeah, but young.
Yeah,
when you're young, like I feel like you're more like you cannot doubt yourself. If you doubt yourself, you have to prove it. So, and when you get older, we know ourselves more, so we don't have more this doubt. So we don't have like no big guy threat us anymore.
Yeah. It's funny because your father used to do that a lot, man. He and Carlos Gama, your godfather, both used to, like 16 years old, they're gonna jump in the car and go to find the biggest bouncer, outside the nightclub. I remember once there was the guy. His name was Joel. Joel was he used to act as the hook in the shows and TV shows. And when Joel first got knocked out by Marcelo, he started to hide from Marcelo because they say, "Hey, Joel, the kid's back here." So they hide Joel somewhere to don't get knocked out again. Because Marcelo was hunting him outside because he could not get in. He was 16 years old. He could not get in the nightclub. But if he saw Joel outside, he would try to knock him out again. It was about the point. So, but man, one thing for us here to make a little quick exercise between you guys there. Let's go. Why don't you guys make a question for another one there?
Okay. Let's start it. Neiman, how you see yourself when you retire, and on how you're gonna try to influence the family to keep your legacy?
That's hard, man.
Like motivate them, like try to motivate them. How you think to do it that way? Because Renzo, for example, we have Renzo here. Renzo motivates us a lot. He always come with something. He always pushing us. And what are you thinking about that when you get like in 10 years from now? How do you gonna?
Yeah, it's gonna be less than that for sure. I plan to retire when I'm like 35 or something. I don't know. Like I feel that I always have been a motivator for everybody else. Like I always try to push people to do things. I never think about that. I think if I do anything with the sport, it's gonna come naturally. Maybe I open my gym and do like everyone else, start teaching and help the younger guys. But I never really thought about it. I don't know, and I don't know if I want to open a gym. So I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I think Neymar already like just by fighting your best, by dedicating himself like the way he does. I think that's already like a big motivation because it was like a huge motivation for me, like to dedicate myself.
That's why I'm
so
asking. That's in the
I
future.
think that's the best that you can do is like to focus on yourself and do the best that you can do in your career to follow the same path.
Yeah,
Leading
so
by
But
example, yeah.
just leading by example, yeah.
yeah, so I don't think what I'm gonna do, like it's hard. I was watching the UFC this weekend, and that guy, he retired, and it make me think about that, like what I'm gonna do when I stop,
After.
because I love the lifestyle, I love training, so I don't know if I stop fighting, what the hell I'm gonna do in my life,
But did you see the last 1.5 hour Cordeiro with Mike Tyson?
Yeah, that's
That
crazy.
was nice one. That's so exactly gonna happen to you, man. You're gonna get older, gonna be training, gonna having fun. Because one thing about our generation, we didn't do so much stand up to enjoy it, be exchanging. But I know you guys gonna do that forever. That's you got when you got the game for punch and striking. That's a really really nice game.
It's a good therapy.
I always like competing, so maybe when I stop fighting MMA, I might go back to jiu-jitsu, so I don't know. I love competitions, so or maybe trying something else.
Exactly. If you want to go, when you want to go back and fight, then let's go organize some. No, this is special fights are always a good thing to do. Always a great thing. So, Neiman, any question for one of those guys there?
I'm gonna ask Kywan. So, what have you been doing he's gonna have his first fight in Bellator? What your training is looking like? What have you been doing to get ready?
He's missing to spank you, man.
No.
The name is missing to spank you. Well, that's a good question there. Who will take care of you there?
Avoid the name, but to build my confidence up.
No way.
No, I'm training a lot, man. Like I came to Vegas. I'm training with the guys with Dewey Cooper for boxing. He's a guy from Mayweather gym. So I focus a lot in wrestling and jiu-jitsu to keep it up a little bit, because I'm gonna fight a wrestler. So I feel like when I get like 1 month before the fight, I go back to train, like focus a lot jiu-jitsu, get the sharpness of the timing back. But I have to keep it up like with the hands and the wrestling.
Good.
But I feel like a huge improvement already. Like I'm feeling like really good now.
What's your left-handed, right-handed? I don't know. What's your strongest side?
I'm southpaw.
Because your father was the same. Your father had a very strong right hand, but he used to play left side as well, very well. He could, like soccer, he could. I think he right with the left hand. He was right in the left hand, but in soccer he was kicking with the right foot. So it was pretty interesting. Marcelo was for both sides was very dangerous.
Yeah, me too. I punch and kick with both legs, both arms and legs.
No, take care of don't kick both legs together. Well, Kywan, now it's your turn. And you have Robson to ask a question.
Well,
Yeah, there it comes. Here it comes.
No, like what he's like, what he focuses more like now when he's like for his fights now. It's kind of like the same question they asked to me.
Unfortunately, I hurt my knee, but so now this forced me to limit my training. So I train more boxing now, and if I can kick, I can train jiu-jitsu because I'm recovering. But at least box I'm able to train. But for sure, I want to get better in wrestling and Muay Thai. Start kicking a little bit more in my fights now. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna knock someone out by kicking them, but for sure I wanna get ready to kick a little bit more.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think when I knock someone out, it's gonna be like a good surprise, because I always think like take the guy down, and then the hand gonna connect. Fuck, like that's great.
I'm gonna tell exactly what happened. I'm gonna share. When you talk to Verdun, you're gonna tell the first when he fought Ebenezer Braga, no? He was, at that time, I didn't agree with that fight at all, and he know that. I was against that fight. I think that he wasn't ready for that, and he was getting smashed by Ebenezer. Ebenezer had hands and kicks and punches that Verdun described that somebody was throwing bricks from the audience on his head. He was feeling something that he was hiding, and boom, saying, "Come on, somebody hit me from the back." It's impossible Yeah, and then when the second round came, and it was third round, I don't remember. But he looked down. He was afraid, and like was shooting to the legs, and show Pobo sem asa, a pigeon without wings. And then hit Ebenezer right in the shin. Boom, Ebenezer dropped forward. Knockout, never got knocked out in his life. But Verdun punch and run away. Punch and say, mine. He said that. But when he came back, nobody was punching him anymore. So when we looked down, the guy was knocked out in front of him. So exactly what happened. They describe exactly the feeling of the first knockout when you don't know what you're doing.
Neiman, what's next for you? Like, who you aiming?
I don't know. I'm asked to fight one of the top 3 guys, maybe, you know. So maybe I have one more fight and fight for the title again. So I asked maybe to fight Michael Venom Page or some other guys there at the top, whoever, you know.
Yeah,
I want
like a good fight for you.
Yeah, like a top 3 guy, you know.
Yeah.
So guys, you know what? We are coming for the end of our talk here. Your cousin sending hugs to all of you guys. A lot of guys watching MMA hoje. Also send, you know, a lot of people here. Campelo.
I have to do the podcast when I finish here. The motherfuckers brought the Russians.
Yeah. Barreto, Fábio Oliveira, Jax Richards. A lot of guys here, you know, Eduardo Torod, Mazinho. A lot of guys here watching us. So I hope you guys subscribe.
That's a great chat.
Like it.
I hope see you guys soon.
Share it. Okay.
Good job.
Oh, professional.
Good. Guys, love you guys. Miss you a lot. I always wish the best for you guys. I always hear in the back, you know, cheers always. And you know, in the wins or lose, we're gonna be always together. Us.
All right, Master. It was a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Adriana.
My pleasure. Zé Renato.
Thank you, guys.
Well, thank you guys. Big pleasure to.
Thank you, Adriana.
Thank you, Master.